Alright, so this is the second part, and hopefully we have this still, to where we have it animated in, it goes away, and it plays the movie that we have. So that's good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some sound to our menu. We're going to add a scene, or a menu scene for our scenes, and then maybe going to clean up what our buttons look like. So that's kind of what we're going to do here. And yeah, alright, so the first thing we need to do is we actually need to, let's see, let's close, let me open my, this menu here. Alright, so this is what this is, and we're going to make some changes to this, and we're going to name it, scene menu or something of that nature. First thing we need to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to call this scene menu. And the sky's the limit with this, guys, as far as what you can do. If you want to take the time to be really creative with it, then it's going to look really, really nice. We're going to delete this picture menu, and we're going to go ahead and delete these play movie and scenes layers as well. We'll shrink this down a little bit, and depending on what you want to put in here, let's make this 40. Let's just say you might have After Effects files. Okay, let's make another one for Photoshop files. Wow, totally spelled that wrong. And then let's, maybe we'll also have a button for main menu, which takes us back to the beginning. So now we need to move these around. And we're going to put main menu down there. We're going to put Photoshop maybe right here. And After Effects. So this would be linking to the particular parts of your movie that contains those files that you would want to show somebody. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we actually need to make these smart objects, as you should know by now. And that is that. And, we could animate this in or animate it out if you wanted to, but generally, when you see in movies, when it clicks on it, it just goes right to the movie. Now, I left these spots in here because I downloaded an After Effects logo and I brought it in. So maybe what we'll do is we'll bring this over here, resize this. Let's hold in Shift like a dummy. Let's resize it so that, just give a little graphic. Now, you could take a screenshot of a part of your movie that you had or something like that and paste that in here. Depending on how things go, we might talk about actually having a video playing during the menu while this is going on, but for now, let's just worry about putting graphics in here to represent something. And you could do this two ways. You could combine both of these and taking layer 1 in the After Effects layer and converting them to a smart object. And then you'd probably need to name this again. And an outline is going to go around the whole thing. So if you wanted to do something for Photoshop, go right ahead, bring that in. I'm not going to do that at this point in time. And you know what else we're going to do? We're going to add a rectangle, and we're going to pick the same color as this, and we might make a little icon there. So we're going to save this as class animated. Let's go scene, so that we know. I'm going to save it in that class animated folder that has everything else in their mom in it, which is always good. And then we're going to come into our After Effects file here, And we're going to go to File, Import as a menu. And we're going to navigate to that folder, wherever you saved it. Class Animated Scene. There we go. Now, if you wanted to, you could animate this in, just like we did before. You know, being that we don't have a whole lot of time at the end of the year, it might just be best just to leave it as this is. So totally up to you. If you want to do that, go right ahead. If not, I'm not going to penalize you for it. You know how to do it. You have to make it into a movie, set it up like you did here, and set the transition, so on and so forth. Alright, so now we have this. So first thing we need to do is we need to come into, well, first let's set a scene, you know, or chapter point. So I'm going to bring my time slider over here, and I'm just going to right click. Let's see, why is that not doing that? There we go. Add a chapter point. So there's my chapter 2. So if I click on that, it's going to automatically do that. And I'm going to say that my After Effects, that's where it's going to start. Hold on, little man. So now that we have a chapter point set, a couple things we have to do. Let's go back to our animated menu here, which is what this is. And, you know, we have the transition for the animated out. That's fine. But notice our link is not set here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pick whip. Oh, here we go again. Oh, I love doing that. And we're going to pick whip to the class animation scene. So if we preview this, our animation comes in, we click on scene, animates out, and pops up into here. Okay, that's cool. Second thing we need to do, we need to take this and we need to select After Effects. We need to convert it to a button. And then, even though we don't have anything technically, we'll go ahead and convert this to a button too. I don't know where we would have it go to unless we came over here and let's set another chapter point, just so that we have something for it to go to. There we have that. And so now we click on this. Is this not a button? Yeah, okay, we didn't convert it to a button yet. Alright, so now we click on this, and the link, we're just going to pick whip that to wherever we want our After Effects to start. So if we preview our DVD, come into here, click our scenes, this clicks, and then it goes to that part of the movie. Okay. Likewise, if we come back into our animated scene here, our Photoshop, we'll link that to section 3. Preview this again. Click on the scenes, and voila, it goes to the end of the movie, or wherever that chapter point is. Alright, so there is that. Now, and that basically, however many scenes you had, or chapter points, or whatever you wanted, you could have multiple ones. You could set up a thing for scenes 1 through 4. Click on that, it would open up into scenes 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, and 8 open up into 5, 6, 7, and 8. You know how DVD menus are set up. So that's that. Another thing I want to do is, and I got to figure out where I saw it, because I don't like, there we go. We're going to go to Edit or Menu, and we're going to go to Edit Menu Color Set. One thing I don't like is, and you click on the preview, if we click on this and this, notice how it's all nasty. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to create a new one. I'm going to call this Mr. Wolf's Set, or you can call it whatever you want to. Hit OK. Notice that all of these become editable, and some of them change, some of them don't. But what I like is that it does make it to where it's not so gaudy looking. So if we come down to here, maybe make that 100%. Let's see what that does. See, some of them do, some of them don't. so I don't know. But I do like how it now. Okay, back. I don't know if it does it for every thing. Let's see. So let's preview this. Let's go to scenes. Okay, so it does it for that, and it does it for that. So you'd have to go in and adjust them yourself. But I think this looks a lot better than being so gaudy. So what you could do is you could come back into your menu here, and you could edit or menu, edit menu color set, and you could pick Mr. Wolf set, hit OK. Edit menu color set, obviously pick your set that you have, hit OK. If we preview the movie, notice that, yeah, these should look a lot better. Okay, so it looks a little bit more professional. Play our movie, yeah, fades out, yada, yada, yada. Here we go. All right, so that's that. And I'm going to say this real quick since I'm right there. Like to do is let's import some music, and I'll make sure you have the same track as mine, so we can have this. Let's see, what does that sound like? Ooh, I like that. So we're going to hit open, so I got to remember that to give it to you. Insomniac. And if we double click on our menu, not the menu scene. You don't really want to put music to scene menus because nobody pays attention to them anyway. So let's double click on that, and actually don't double click, just highlight it. And then if we come over here to audio, we can pick whip that to that song. So watch what happens. We preview. So there is that. It'll play until we do that. And wow, there we go. So yeah. Oh, one thing we didn't do. We didn't assign this. Select main menu, convert it to a button. And then the link, we're going to have it go back to yes, we're going to go back to that. So let's preview this one more time. Scenes. There's our After Effects, Photoshop, and oops. Did it work? Yes, there we go. Alright, so that is, a pretty good rundown of how you can do some simple things. And I think that's pretty cool how that works. So I expect to see some pretty cool animated intros as well as your chapter points. And we will go from there. So let's see some awesome stuff. See you next time.